This week on Competition Ready, we're in Tracy, California to help Leonard Lopez and the guys at Dominator Street Rods as they race against time to get their incredible 55 Chevy ready for the Sacramento Autorama. We've got a lot of work to do to make this classic stand out and turn the judges' heads. So, time to get to it. When the world's top builders need their cars to shine, they call Autogeek and their team of expert detailers to prepare their custom creations for some of the most prestigious automotive events in the industry. Join Mike Phillips and me as we team up with the country's top surface technicians to polish these incredible cars to perfection at that critical final moment before the doors open and the crowds begin to arrive. From the shop to the show, we're there to make these rides competition ready. Leonard Lopez has spent his life building stunning hot rods, taking the classics a step further, creating one-of-a-kind rides with character and expert craftsmanship. Now, he's reimagined an icon, the 55 Chevy. This car is already amazing, and now it's our job to give this beautiful Chevy the shine it deserves.
We started in the race car business, and then little by little, we just kind of branched off into the street rod business. This is all I've ever done, is just worked on race cars and hot rods. And the Sacramento Autorama is really a custom show. So we're going to basically go there with a car that is technically, on paper, a custom. Is it your typical custom? No. But things are changing. You know, that we've got different generations, we got a lot of stuff changing, so hey, we're gonna give it a shot.
Those car haulers nicer than some guys' cars.
I know.
I can't think of anybody better than Mike and AJ and his team to come down here and make this thing shine. Once we get to the show, we want to roll the car, the trailer, we want it done. This is why we call it the Autogeek team.
Hey, Leonard, how's it going?
Good, nice to see you guys again.
Yeah, good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
So this is the 55.
This is it.
Wow. So I'm seeing a one-piece chrome bumper here. That looks amazing. One thing about chrome is because the layer of chrome is so thin, the last thing you want to do is put a scratch in it because you can't get it out.
Yes.
So we'll be very careful with that. Now tell me about the wheels. These look like a magnesium or a nickel finish?
It's actually heat coating, and they have to heat coat them because of the temperature of the brakes.
Okay.
So they don't change any colors, but they're actually, it's a satin, and I know that's hard to detail and stuff, that's why we give it to the experts.
Looks like it could use just a little freshening up to give it that brilliance so it matches the chrome.
One of our biggest concerns with any car is the paint process. We need to know how hard or soft the paint is to know which products we should use. This 55 is base coat clear, which means it's harder, so we won't have to worry about burning through the paint. But it also means we have to put in a little more work to get the swirls and scratches out.
A detailer job to a show car is just as important as building the car, because we could do all of our job and put a great product out there, but if it's dirty, we've wasted our time. And more than that, money.
What about the interior? I see a satin finish dash. You got some
Carbon fiber.
It's a complicated interior, but like I said, it's got to look right.
Now for your leather, we always talk about, you know, you want it to have like a nice satin, clean look versus a greasy, slippery.
Yeah, natural finish type.
Okay. Just looking at the interior, it looks very intricate. And speaking of intricate, the engine on this beautiful 55 is gonna need some attention because the judges at the Autorama inspect every aspect of the car.
The judges are super meticulous. That's why we have to really hit them right up front. We don't want to see any fingerprints, any kind of smudges, any kind of swirl marks, because that keeps them looking. But as soon as they start finding problems, you start going downhill from there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is gonna be heading to the Autorama tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right. I completely trust Mike and AJ and the team to make it ready for the show. I can't wait to see it again.
Oh man,
Where do you want to start?
I have no idea.
I want to start with getting the team.
Oh, that's a good call. There.
This is a huge project. We're gonna get this ready for the Sacramento Autorama. We're gonna turn this into a black mirror. First thing we gotta do is we need to get it clean. By the way, I see some of you guys are wearing watches, and if you have rings and you can't take them off or you don't like to take them off, then take a little bit of painter's tape and cover them up, because the last thing we wanna do is put a scratch in the paint as we're working on it, just like that, okay? So let's get busy, let's do it.
So Mike, I see we're starting off with the spray detailer first.
Yeah, you know, when we got here, I saw a lot of dust on the car, and we're gonna do some machine polishing, and the last thing we wanna do is grind any of the dust into the paint, so we gotta get it clean first, and typically we don't wash cars like these, you know? So we're back to using a spray detailer. This is from Sonax, just their Brilliant Shine detailer. What's cool about this is it's actually silicone free, so it's safe for use in body shops.
So this is also a great spray to use for anybody who's taking a car to a show, just to kind of do a little bit of a last-minute detail.
Yeah, it's gonna clean really well. It's gonna impart a really nice slick shine, so you can use it on anything, whether it's a show car or the car in your driveway.
Nice. This is a big car, and that's a lot of black. And as we all know, black paint is merciless, so we've got to be perfect. There's a ton of work to do, and this car has to head to the Autorama tomorrow. Here we go. Tomorrow is the opening day of the Sacramento Autorama. This is one of the most important hot rodding events of the year. All the top builders from across the country are converging at the Cal Expo Fairgrounds to put their talents in the hands of the judges. And first impressions are everything.
Since its beginning in 1950, the Sacramento Autorama has become one of the most important custom shows in the country. Sister to the Grand National Roadster Show, the Autorama shares its prestige as being one of the longest-running indoor car shows in the world.
We've got a lot of real estate, over 600 cars here competing for top prizes and awards, and another couple hundred cars that we have at our drive and outside. Every year it just keeps getting bigger and better, man. We're excited about it.
Along with a collection of absolutely incredible rides, it's a who's who of the industry icons and some of the planet's most talented builders. If you're looking to turn heads in the custom industry, there's no better place to be than the Autorama.
These cars have the finest detailers working on them. They spend hours and hours and hours prepping for this event. We have an overall winner, but we also have awards for attention to detail, for the undercarriage, for engineering, for shine, for the display. So we award these guys for all of those categories.
And we're excited about getting Leonard's gorgeous 55 to the show. But unfortunately, as Mike is checking the paint for contaminants, he's not looking as excited as I'd hoped.
So Mike, I see you're doing the trusty baggie test. What's the verdict?
You feel with your bare hand, you know, it feels smooth.
Yep.
Feel the baggie on there? There's something on there. Overspray, something.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the swirl finder light once you do that one.
Okay. A lot of swirls.
Yeah, see, so that's the difference between fluorescent lights and a dedicated swirl finder light. This is actually the Sonax swirl finder light. It reveals the true condition of the paint to your eyes. And if we didn't know that, we might not do the right things to the car to get it ready for the show. So if we can make this light happy, it'll look good at the show.
All right, that's the goal.
The next step is removing all the contaminants. So it's time to break out the clay.
This is the Sonax clay disc. This takes the place of detailing clay. And it just fits on any orbital polisher like this. Be sure to center it up. Now, because these are brand new pads, it's important that we break them in first. And to break it in, you do it on the glass, not the paint, because the glass is harder, so it won't mar. This is actually a polymerized rubber surface with an abrasive in it. It's not the kind of abrasive that's gritty, like you think of sand. It's pulverized, and so what it does is it abrades off the contaminants, then you wipe them off with the glass cleaner and clean microfiber towel. So let's get to it.
With the decontamination done, it's time to check our work.
It's perfect.
No, it feels smooth, huh?
Yeah, it's smooth.
Like a piece of brand new glass.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Nice. What's gonna be the next step?
Well, next we're gonna do some testing. I brought compounds and polishes, but if we don't have to get aggressive, we don't wanna get aggressive.
Okay.
So we'll test to see what it's gonna take to pull the swirls and scratches out, and then we'll go with that.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Okay, guys, we're gonna use a product from Sonex called EX0406, okay? And what the 0406 means, in case you've never used this, is it has a cut of 4, but it finishes out as a 6. And 6 is the highest gloss. This is actually a Sonex green foam polishing pad. So it's not too aggressive like a cutting pad, but it has a little bit more bite than, say, a finishing pad. You don't want to tackle too big an area at one time. So this is an average microfiber towel, 16 inches square. So tackle a section about this big, and then when you move on to a new section, overlap into that section, and you basically buff out the car section by section. And the goal is to get uniform material removal. The material is the paint. And the way you remove swirls and scratches is you remove a little paint through the abrading or the compounding and polishing process. And if you get uniform material removal, you'll have a uniform appearance at the end of the day because all the swirls and scratches will be gone. You guys got that? Yep. Okay, let's do it. Let's get to work. This is a big car. It's a lot of buffing to do.
This car is the epitome of the American classic hot rod. From bumper to bumper, this ride has to stand up to its legendary status. If the detailing isn't perfect, it will throw off the entire aesthetic. No pressure, right? But no worries. Mike and the guys are the best at what they do. We're getting closer to making Leonard's 55 gorgeous. There's no doubt, even in the state it's in, this ride would turn heads. But we need to take it a step beyond. We want this badass hot rod sitting on the winner's podium. What's gonna be our plan of action for the seats?
Okay, these are leather seats. It's important to use products that are compatible and safe for leather.
Okay.
And we're gonna do a two-step on it. We're gonna clean it, and then we're gonna protect it. First, we wanna pull the seat belts out of the way.
Okay.
Okay, and then I think you'll like this product. It comes out as a foam.
Kind of like a mousse?
Kind of like a mousse.
Okay.
And you can actually spray this right onto the seat. Sonex actually has a matching applicator. What I like about this is it's got a little finger pocket.
So what happens when this cleaner gets into the grooves and also the stitching? Because this is a very complex pattern, so is it gonna be safe?
Yeah, it's safe. There's no petroleum distillants or solvents.
Okay.
It's water-based, so it won't hurt the stitching. A lot of times, that's what comes apart on a seat. You know, you sit on it, you expand the seat out, and it stresses the stitching, so you don't want to use any chemicals that could hurt the stitching. But most important, we're going to get the leather clean, okay?
Yeah.
So that way the conditioner can do its job.
Okay.
Okay, after you worked it in really well, clean microfiber towel, wipe off any excess. The next step after we got it clean is to condition and protect it. For
Okay.
that, this is the Sonex Leather Care Cream. Just take and apply it and work it in. Imagine your skin was really dry and you're putting a moisturizer on your skin. And look at the glow you're giving it, okay?
It's almost like it's bringing it back to life.
Got another clean microfiber towel down here. Takes a lot of microfiber towels to do a car right.
It really does.
And that looks absolutely beautiful. That's a two-step approach, and you usually get the best results by doing multiple step procedures. This is like taking it to a higher level. So your dedicated cleaning process, dedicated conditioning and protecting process.
And it was still easy to do.
Yeah.
From the interior to the bright work.
What's important about chrome is you use nothing that's abrasive on it, because once you put a scratch in chrome, you're done. You cannot get it out. So the Sonex aluminum and chrome paste, this is a non-abrasive cleaning polish. It won't scratch it. What it will do is it'll remove the film that comes on, that builds up on chrome, just like it builds up on paint without scratching. And after you're applying it, it actually leaves a protective film behind. It's real simple. I just applied some to a clean microfiber towel, apply it, work it in really well, and then switch to the dry side of the towel, and then buff off to a bright shine. You can use this on aluminum, brass, copper, and chrome, and that would include wheels too. So I'm only using the polish on the rim. The reason why is this is a special heat-treated paint. If I get the polish on there, because it actually has a texture to it, it's probably gonna stain it. So for that, we just use the Sonex Brilliant Shine Detailer to clean it, remove the brake dust, any road grime, give it that nice, clean, sterile look. You can see the oxidation coming off, and then either switch to a dry towel or fold to a dry side, and then just wipe to a Brilliant Shine.
We're nearing the finish line, but with a black car and this many huge panels, any flaw will immediately be noticed by the judges. We've been at it all day, but when you strive for perfection, there is no clock. We work until it's done. This is it. This time tomorrow, the Sacramento Autorama judges will be poring over every inch of Leonard's awesome 55. We're down to the details, and pretty soon, this ride will be ready for the spotlight.
Black is really hard to work on. This thing looks phenomenal. Great job, guys, but now it's time to really seal the shine in, okay? And for that, we're gonna use Sonex Polymer Net Shield. Okay. And here's the technique. If you were to spray this on and wipe it with a dry towel, you would actually wipe it off. So what you do, take this and just dampen one side. Remember, it's an aerosol. And now I can actually take and spray some onto the car, just like that, and come down here and spread this out. Real soft, because at this point, we don't want to do any towel marring to the paint. And we can apply it to the chrome, the trim, the glass, the paint.
So would this be replacing the waxing stage?
Exactly. This is a very high-tech product, and it replaces a traditional wax or a synthetic sealant. You don't have to do both, just one, and this is it. And this is the most important part because this is gonna make or break the end results. So everybody pay attention, inspect your towels, and let's get this thing coated.
We've put a lot of work into this car, and now it's time to glove up and do a final wipe.
Very soft, very gentle. Just gonna get any trace residues off of the Polymer Net Shield. I think we're done. You know what, guys? This looks amazing. We're done. You guys did a great job. You know, black is the hardest color of all to perfect. And we had to do a lot of steps to this to get it where it's at. So you guys did a great job. You should be proud of yourselves.
And hopefully the judges at the Autorama will feel the same way.
I hope so.
Whoa. I walked around the corner and it was like, wow, this is exactly what we needed. This is awesome. This is really awesome. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
This is almost like cheating. Thank you very much.
Take a close look.
Yeah.
No, look at the reflection. I mean, that's exactly what we need for Sacramento because reflection, I can see, I'm just like looking in a mirror. You know, and the body lines, it made, you know, your team made my team look good. The first thing I noticed was the reflection. Because that's what we look at, that to make sure that reflection is just like a perfect mirror, and it is. No, this is super, super cool. The exterior just looks incredible, but look at the interior. I mean, the way that it just looks natural, looks like brand new. The tires, the wheels, I like how now it really shows the two different textures. You I knew the car had it, but it needs somebody just to bring it to that next level. As a car builder, a black car is miserable, and it's just amazing to see what these guys have done. It exceeded my expectation.
So I think it's safe to say your competition's gonna be a little nervous seeing this car roll in?
Well, if I was them, I would be. This is awesome. I mean, just look at it. It's exactly what we wanted at this level. It's just like a piece of jewelry in the box.
I'll admit, this car was not easy to work on. It was definitely a challenge.
It was a lot of work, but it's basically using good products, good technique.
My biggest hope now is just that the judges think it's as beautiful as I do. Fingers crossed, I hope this thing takes top honors. Guys, I can't thank you enough. I'm sure the judges are gonna be floored about this. Mike, AJ, and the whole team, thank you. This looks so amazing.
Good luck at the Autorama.
It's all yours.
Good
All right.
luck.
And as we like to say, from the shop to the show, Leonard's stunning 55 was loaded up the next morning and made its way to the Autorama.
It's showtime. This is the big day. The public's coming in and really looking at this stuff, so we're getting a lot of exposure with the car today. Everything about the car's been positive. The black paint is so shiny and so deep, and they don't see any kind of hazing or scratching. Here again, due to AJ, Mike, and Sonax. This is the hardest part of my job. Hoping good for everybody involved in the car, but it's all in the judges' hands now.
This Tri-5 here is absolutely gorgeous, and Leonard Lopez from Dominator has done an amazing job. The quality of the detail, both underside, overside, and inside, is just top-notch.
It looks like all our work paid off, as the Dominator 55 took the Custom Delegane's Best Detail Award. But of course, Leonard gave us a pretty good canvas to start with.
The hours were long, the work was hard, but Mike and his team have definitely made Leonard's fabulous 55 competition ready.